Organizations today use data to inform all sorts of business decision making. But one area that lags stubbornly behind is the way companies hire people. In the last 20 years, the science of what works and what doesn't work in hiring has really advanced. But the way most companies actually hire in practice lags way behind the science. In fact, I would say that the foundational paradigm of how organizations hire hasn't really changed much in the last 70 years. Hiring is still not generally done in an evidence-based way. In fact, I would say the way most employers hire today is some version of the following three-step process. Step one is we collect marginally relevant information, things like educational level and years of experience, things research shows are weak talent signals. And we gather those talent signals using unreliable and inaccurate means, typically resumes. Step two is we conduct an unstructured interview, which only serves to dilute the already weak signals we collected in the first step and adds a dash of unconscious bias and subjectivity into the mix. And step three is we make the final decision largely by trusting our gut and relying on intuition. Given this rigorous methodology for making high-stakes decisions, we shouldn't be surprised that 46% of new hires don't work out. So why does this system persist when we know it's so flawed? When so many other areas of business decision-making have been transformed by data? I think that part of the explanation is that hiring is a decision about humans, and we believe that human beings can't be reduced to numbers. It's very understandable. We'd like to think we're more complicated than that, and of course we are. Human beings are infinitely complex, tremendously nuanced creatures. But does that mean that decisions that businesses make about their humans, so who to hire or who to promote, how to manage someone, can't be informed by science and guided by data? Of course not. In fact, I think it's precisely because humans are so complex, so hard to predict, that it's imperative we use science-based decision-making for workforce optimization. There's so much we can't predict. Hiring is what game theorists would call a partial information game. It's more like poker than chess. We don't have all the information we need to hire people until years after we've hired them in some cases. So as a lot of sophisticated HR people already know, it's not about reducing people to numbers. It's about getting a multi-dimensional, data-informed view of candidates to improve our decision-making. In the end, we think using data to inform hiring decisions shouldn't be about outsourcing your hiring decisions to an algorithm. It's about gathering as many relevant, objective data points as you can about different dimensions of a person, their learning ability, problem-solving, personality, emotional intelligence, or skills, and using that data to make better decisions. You're not removing human judgment from the equation, but our judgment is effective only when based on good inputs. So if you want to make better hires and make your talent acquisition process more fair and objective and equitable, you need to be gathering objective, relevant, predictive data and using it to inform your decisions. And that's what evidence-based hiring is.